What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be breaking down the Winnipeg Jets trade deadline. A very disappointing one, in my opinion. I was really hoping the Jets would be able to bring in some better talent, some more impactful talent, that we've been talking about over the last couple of months, fill a couple of holes, and it feels like they really failed to do so today. During the trade deadline. We've got lots to talk about in this one, so let's start with who the Jets had acquired. And first of all, they go ahead and get Schenn, defenseman that just got traded to the Pittsburgh Penguins from the Nashville Predators, where he's been playing all year long. The price tag there was a second-round pick and a fourth-round pick. 35-year-old defenseman, big body, throws his weight around, tough guy. That's a, depth pickup. High price this year for really everybody. This is definitely a seller's market. So this was, one of the cheaper deals of the day, if you can believe it. But Schenn to the Winnipeg Jets. Not really who I was hoping for. I don't think he necessarily fills a hole, considering I think he's probably going to be on the third pairing with Logan Stanley. And I know a lot of people were like, oh, this is the guy that will take Logan Stanley out of the lineup. I don't think it will. If we're talking seriously here, let's look who's been scratched more, Miller or Stanley this season. Miller's been scratched way more than Logan Stanley. Stanley really hasn't been taken out of the lineup really at all this season, except for when he's been hurt, here and there earlier on in the season. And Schenn plays the right side. Stanley's the left shot D. Those two are likely going to be playing with each other, or at least are going to be taking a look with each other, right? I don't think this takes Logan Stanley out of the lineup whatsoever. I like Colin Miller way more than I do Schenn. This was kind of a head scratcher to me. I know the Jets want to get some more bite, but this was a little bit of a weird one. If Miller or, Schenn can play on the left side, great, fine. It's an upgrade over Stanley, I guess. Not that much more of an upgrade, to be totally honest with you, but fine. It's better than Stanley. We'll see what happens, see how they deploy these guys. But, pretty low-end ad there for the Jets. I don't really think that moved the needle at all. And then speaking of not moving the needle, the Jets add Brandon Tanev, who I do like as a player. I don't hate Brandon Tanev, but on this Jets roster, I don't know really where he fits. I mean, I know he's probably going to take somebody out, but where does he fit? I don't think he's much more than a 13th forward, to be totally honest, on this team. And he's going to be going from Pittsburgh to Winnipeg for a second-round pick in 2027. I don't really care about picks, but like a 2 for a guy that probably isn't better than at least 12 of your forwards, that's rough. That is really, really, really rough. Hopefully he finds some form. I get, you bring it in, a guy with familiarity. The Jets do this a lot, bring in a guy they used to have. They brought back, Comrie, Appleton, Stastny, list goes on. You bring back Tanev. I don't really know about that one, to be honest with you. I'd rather just play Kapari, Gus, and, let those guys run. I understand he's got some, again, just like Schenn, some bite. But this really feels like kind of a nothing burger here. I feel like Pittsburgh ran away with a second-round pick there, so, good for them for getting that. But Brandon Tanev, we'll see what he does. Maybe he can find, his form from 10 years ago when he played for the Jets, but I'm not exactly banking on that. So the Jets, they work around the edges here. They leave $6 million of deadline cap space on the table and keep their first-round pick in a year where they're, fighting for the President's Trophy. I know they made a push for Brock Nelson, weren't able to get him in the end as, he didn't waive his no-move clause. There was a lot of reports from Friedman, from Saravelli, that he was going to waive his no-move to be able to come to Winnipeg, but that didn't come to fruition, and now he's on the Colorado Avalanche, who also added Charlie Coyle, added Ryan Lindgren earlier on in the week. They had a great week. Yes, the price to get Nelson was expensive. They had to part with Cal Ritchie, who is an incredible prospect. But you know what? They went all in. They got Charlie Coyle, an excellent bottom 6 addition. Could even probably go in the top 6 if needed. They had a day. Congratulations to Colorado. If we look the other way here to Dallas, who's creeping up on the Jets, just 6 points away from them, trying to take the division lead from the Jets. They go ahead and they trade Logan Stankoven and 2 firsts for Mikko Rantanen, and they sign him to an 8-year extension at $12 million. That is crazy. Wild work here by Dallas. The most impactful, definitely the most impactful move of the day. at this deadline. Dallas goes ahead and gets an absolute freak first liner to add to their team. And, is Dallas the favorite for the Cup now? You really have to kind of think so at this point. Definitely on paper, I really like the roster. Colorado, same thing. They look great. Goaltending, maybe a question mark there. Is Blackwood able to do it? But both of those teams who are, creeping up behind the Jets in the standings, I don't know. They did some great work today, and it really feels like the Jets in comparison really took the smallest step forward, and it just feels like a big gut punch at this point. As a Jets fan, I know a lot of people feel like that. I know there's going to be people that are going to, you ride with True North and everything, say, no, you know what, this was perfect because it's not going to screw up the chemistry. I got bad news for you guys because if the Jets don't win that division, they are out in the first round. I don't believe they're going to beat Colorado or Dallas in a first-round series. The Jets need to win that Central Division so that they can play a weaker opponent first, and hope to God that Dallas and Colorado play each other in that first round and, maybe beat each other up for 6 or 7 games before Winnipeg has to play them, because woof. Both of those teams did some great work today, and they're going to be some serious contenders. Around the league, some other teams made some moves in the East. Brad Marchand going to Florida, absolutely wild. They're going to have a lot of fun marketing that. Obviously, throwing the rats on the ice and everything. They call Marchand the Rat. That's an awesome marketing ploy. That's fantastic. Very excited for Florida and their fans for that. That's a lot of fun. And then Toronto, they went ahead, they got Scott Laughton, fill that 3C hole, and then they go ahead and get Brandon Carlo from the Boston Bruins. What a day for the Leafs. Brandon Carlo was a guy that I really liked. Sent Fraser Mitten the other way to Boston for him. I think the Jets would have been way better off getting more of an impact player like a Carlo. Maybe he had trade protection. I don't know. Maybe the Jets knocked on the door. I couldn't tell you, but, a guy like that, I would have preferred it big time over, a role player like Luke Schenn. I don't think that the Jets, didn't swing for the fences. I think they definitely tried to get some stuff done. Obviously, we found out about the no move thing with Brock Nelson and how that was never going to happen for any Canadian team. We find out, I'm sure we're going to find out in the coming days some more stuff. I know the Jets are probably one of the teams that called about McCann, but with Seattle, wanting to be a good team in the near future here, they already moved Yanni Gourde and Oliver Bjorkstrand to Tampa. I kind of had a feeling coming into deadline day that they weren't going to move McCann. I don't think anything really got close. So, it kind of sucks. But, as a fan here, it is kind of disheartening. I like this Jets team a lot, but it really feels like they took a step back today, and a lot of teams took a huge step forward, like Colorado, like Dallas. And those two teams are going to be extremely hard outs in the playoffs. So if you're a Jets fan, I hope you believe in miracles, because they're going to need some magic here down the stretch. But it has been a magical year, so maybe they'll be able to pull something out. I don't know. But definitely a disappointing day here in Winnipeg, on a day where we were really hoping to get some more impact into the lineup. And, we're brought with Luke Schenn and Brandon Tanev. The only other thing that I want to talk about here from a Jets standpoint is their UFAs and RFAs. Now with some cap clarity, I wonder if the Jets do kind of circle back to their, free agents and maybe see if they can get a few of them signed. I don't anticipate Nick Ehlers will be one of them. I'm almost certain he's going to be walking at the end of the season to free agency. Maybe Neil Pionk gets a contract, as much as that absolutely pains me to say. He's due for a raise with some term. I think Pionk is going to get a pretty big contract, at least an offer from Winnipeg. Maybe they look at signing Gabe Vilardi, Dylan Sandberg. Those are the two guys that I would maybe focus on a little bit more right now. But that's, really all I got, guys. A really, really disheartening day. Feels like a punch to the gut. But I want to hear what you guys have to say. I know a lot of people love Brandon Tanev. I like Brandon Tanev. I think he's a cool guy. But I just don't think that he's, going to help this team very much in the playoffs. Luke Schenn is a guy, bottom pairing, tough defenseman. I don't think he's too much of a difference maker whatsoever with this team, but we'll see what happens. Maybe he turns into a world beater. I highly doubt it. But leave your comments down below. What do you guys think about the pickups today? What do you guys think about what everyone else did? I just feel like everybody else took a step forward today, and the Jets took a step back. So let me know what you guys think. See you guys in the next one. Go Jets, go. Bye-bye.